So last week we looked at putting weight on through this transition into menopause, so from perimenopause and into menopause, and the fact that we go insulin resistant at around this time. Now, there are a lot of different drivers behind that, and we looked at estrogen and testosterone, which you may not have thought of, and the thyroid hormones. We always want to blame the thyroid, and it is intricately linked with metabolism, so it could be at play there. And of course, there's stress. Stress is always going to be constant in most conditions that people have and difficulties that they experience. So always working with that is a good idea. And we talked about how we go insulin resistant around menopause, and it's really not fair, but it's just what is happening as we transition through this time of life. And I don't know if you're insulin resistant or not. And you can get some blood work done. If you go to the GP or come to your naturopath, we can run tests to have a look at your blood glucose and your cholesterol and so on. But one of the easiest ways to understand whether you've gone insulin resistant or you're experiencing insulin resistance is just to get a tape measure and measure the waist. So it's usually around the belly button, wherever you find your belly button. Take your measurement around there. And for women, we don't want to see a waist measure really above 80 centimeters, and for men it's about 94. So if you've done that and you're thinking, I might be insulin resistant, I'm starting to put weight around the middle, listen on, there might be some solutions. So I'm a naturopath and nutritionist. I'm going to start with diet. I have to. It's just what I do. It's what I've been doing for 30 years. And I know it works. So the most researched diet in the world is the Mediterranean diet. And the reason the Med diet is so helpful is because it has a few constants in it. It's loads of veggies. In fact, it's loads of veggies. I've never met anyone who eats enough vegetables. I've never met anyone who eats too many. So chances are you could probably add another cup of salad in at lunch, or another half cup to a cup of steamed veg at night, that sort of thing. Or even to the smoothie and the breakfast in the morning, if that's where you want to go. The other thing, it's really low in refined carbohydrate. It doesn't have a lot of packaged foods. Now, of course, there are going to be foods that aren't going to be in a packet. Like if you wanted to buy some pasta and you wanted to get pasta that was made from peas, some legumes. So the pea pastas are actually really helpful because they're made from the legumes, which are higher in fiber. And anything that's high in fiber is really going to slow down the absorption of the food that we're eating, give us a steady flow of blood glucose. So the quinoas, even some brown rice that's cooked and cooled could be helpful, and just maybe in addition to the salad at lunch, that could be another great way of getting a whole complex grain into your diet so that you get good fiber and it fills you up. So lots of veg, some whole grains, no packets, and protein. Now, protein, size and thickness of the palm of your hand, 3 times a day. So breakfast, lunch, dinner. And if you're exercising, maybe half a palm or so for snacks. And that could look like some boiled eggs, or, a handful of nuts, not the whole lot. Just gotta have a handful. And don't keep going back for extra handfuls. I know that's a real trap for nuts. Maybe you want to do some cheese and on some whole grain crackers, that sort of thing. That could be helpful. Or maybe you've just got a high protein muesli bar, or you want to do a protein bar, or even a protein shake. They can be really helpful. They're not food, but they really do help us out and get us good quality protein. So we've got our plate. Have a look. Where's the protein? Where are the grains or the whole grains? And where are all the salads and the vegetables, which should really take up at least half of your plate. So that's the diet. And then we've got to look at the stress, because stress will interrupt our sleep, and we need good quality sleep to not only recover and get going the next day, but we also need to heal and repair the muscles that we actually have expended during the day doing our weight-bearing activity. Now, walking's fine if you're into that, and it needs to be a fairly decent walk. It's not just ambling along. You should still be able to hold a conversation with someone if you are walking with them, but it's a pretty decent walk. The other really good ideas that you might consider are anything that is using your own body weight. So Pilates, yoga, Tai Chi, those kind of things. Or even if you want to resistance bands, or if you really want to go to the gym and start actually pumping weights, see a GP first to make sure that that's appropriate for you, and maybe get an exercise physiologist or a really good physio or even a personal trainer just to outline something for you. So that what you were doing is eating the protein in the meals that you're having whilst doing the weight-bearing activity to exercise and make the muscles bigger, and then you repair the muscles at night, which will help increase the muscle mass. And once you increase the muscle mass, then you increase your metabolic rate. So you're burning calories at a higher rate just sitting still. And that will climb into the body fat, and then we start to lose weight. Now, this doesn't happen overnight, but it will happen. So I'm hoping that those are some of the solutions that you might already be trying, or perhaps you want to look into. If you would like some more, I've got a blog on my website, handcraftedhealth.com.au, where you can read more. Okay, hope that helped. Thank you.